Hey, Sanoj.
What's up?
Knock, knock.
Oh, who's there?
Sixers.
Sixers who?
6 or 7 guys injured all the time.
Oh, jeez.
This is Ring the Damn Bell, your weekly shot of Sixers news, stories, and heartbreak. Let's go trust the neighbors.
Oh, welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. I'm John.
I'm Sanoj.
Well, Sanoj, it's Wednesday like normal, as we record on Wednesdays typically. And we had to start out with a joke today.
I appreciate the joke.
You know, it was a bad joke.
We need a little laughter.
It was a bad joke. You know why?
Because it's true.
Because the Sixers are a bad joke right now.
Oh, that man. Yep.
Oh, my God. It was disgusting last night. Sixers, they played the Denver Nuggets last night. And did you ever watch somebody who doesn't care
Just surgically slice a team apart.
surgically destroy
8
a
points.
team? 8, but 14 assists. It's just unbelievable. It was disgusting.
When does he score 8 points and we get destroyed by how much we got destroyed by? At halftime, the score was 72-40, I believe.
Yeah, we were down by 30 some points at one point in time. It was,
Jamal Murray had 12.
you know, it was such a disgusting display of effort and strategy. It was just, it was. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even watch the game last night. I watched most of the replay.
I watched a little bit of it. And you know when I decided not to watch? When the announcers were saying, well, that was easy.
Yeah, the opening play. It was just funny. I mean, these are, you know, how many no-look passes did Jokic have? It was a joke. And then say his name. I can never say his name right.
Valanciunas.
Oh my God, he made Bono look
like a bonehead.
Yeah,
But how often do you hear broadcasters saying about the other team, well, that was easy?
that was easy. Yeah, I'll tell you. I think Kate and Olive would have had a tough time calling that game last night.
Yeah, definitely. Like it gets tough. I think that's one of the reasons why Zumoff retired.
I think that was probably one of the most pathetic losses I've ever seen.
I don't know why you're saying that because we've had quite a few.
We have
How much
had
did
a
we
few.
lose to the Hornets by? Was that 50?
You know,
40?
maybe I shouldn't say it. Actually, the last Nuggets loss was pretty pathetic. That was when the Nuggets had nobody. And
We had Maxey.
They played in Philadelphia, and we still lost.
Yep. We had Maxey and Oubre in that game.
It was really bad. But, you know, when you have to rely on Dalen Terry, Marjon Beauchamp, Campaign, and Kyle Lowry, who is this? It's not even a G League team.
Do you know what this team is? They don't know each other. They're just on the floor running around. You know what this reminds me of? They met at church and they joined the church league. They're playing on a Tuesday night after work.
It's like a YMCA.
They put on some gym shorts. They bought a bottle of Gatorade and they head over to the church to play.
You know, we went. You know, actually, what's crazy is we went 2-1 this week, right? We beat the Nets and we beat Portland. You know, the Nets are obviously really, really pathetic. Portland's not terrible.
We're just biding our time with these moral wins.
It was really
We're playing this waiting game to death. These little losses, at first, we'll take it as a moral win. What does it really mean when you play against the Nuggets and they show you what you really are?
You know, how many times have you seen a team that is depleted, like Philly? And we always say, you know, when we play a depleted team, we usually have role players or G League players have career nights against us. That's not happening. Well, you shouldn't. You know, actually, you know what? I mean, Q had like a career night the other night. Justin Edwards had it, but you know what? There's so much inconsistency with these guys. Justin Edwards comes out. I think he had, what do you have the night? He must have scored like 30 points the night before. You know, Quentin Grimes scored like 31 points the night before. But these guys are so inconsistent. Quentin last night, how many air balls did he fire up last night?
Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards, Beauchamp, say whatever you want. It's all for naught. These are just moral little wins that mean nothing at the end of the day. Like you said before, we're not going to fall out of the play-in because Glenn Rivers solidified us a spot at the 10th spot at least. What does any of this mean?
I'm not sure.
It means nothing. I'm sick of hearing, Campaign went for 8 for 8 from the 3, and we gave that a little props last week. Quentin Grimes had a good game. What did he do against the Nuggets? What do they do against the Nuggets? Everyone just a big fat 0.
Well, it's like, you know, when you play the Nets or you play the Grizzlies or you play even Portland, you know, you can have some guys step up and have some good games. But then when you play a good team like Denver, you're completely exposed. I mean, this
is what they're heading into the playoffs, though.
There was absolutely, you know, usually if
there's not these Nets
there's not.
And Pacers and Grizzlies in the playoffs. And since they're the bottom of the heap and they have to fight their way to get into the playoffs, if somehow they get into the playoffs, what are they going to do?
All right, let me paint a picture for you here.
Get a brush. Okay. Let's hear it, Bob Ross.
Oh, these are, I forget what did Bob Ross used to say. He had
pretty little, a little,
happy little tree.
There you go.
Little tree, happy little clouds. We have happy little clouds. I'm going to paint a happy little cloud for you here. Bob Ross, happy little cloud.
Now all I can picture is Owen Wilson as Bob Ross because he played him in the movie. I don't. Anyway, let's hear your analogy.
All right, so we have about 14 games left in the season, right?
1 week until PG comes back.
1 week until PG comes back. Joel is game time decision for tomorrow night against the Kings. Do you think he's going to play?
I heard Saturday against the Jazz, but either way, do I think he's going to play?
So
I don't know.
We're going to play the Kings, who are the only team right now in the Western Conference that is eliminated.
They're officially eliminated.
They're 18-52.
When we said it could be worse, it could be worse.
Yeah. So, I think the odds of Joel playing tomorrow night are low. I don't think he's going to come back.
And they, I don't know if they're injured. No, I think Zach LaVine shut down. But they have players who they should be better than they are.
We're going to play 36-year-old DeMar DeRozan. We're going to play 37-year-old Russell Westbrook. So you know what we got? Hey, Russell Westbrook.
He had a fight to get back in the league.
Unbelievable. But what do you think? How do you think we're going to beat the Kings tomorrow night or what?
Are we completely depleted of our players?
I don't know.
I don't think Embiid is coming back. If he comes back, we're winning. If he doesn't come back, we're not. When does Maxey come back? They told us Embiid was supposed to be out for 3 games. It's been 10 games now.
Yeah, and every time it's like dangling a carrot, right? You got the carrot.
This is what they
He's
do.
Coming back on March 14th, then it was March 17th. Now it's March 19th.
You know what it is?
When's it going to come
It
back?
all revolves around revenue. Add revenue, dangle that carrot, so people will tune in one way or another.
So let's go back. You go back to the, and I'm stuck in the disappointed corner of the triangle right now. I just it's
How can
really
you
hard-
not be?
It's really hard to get out of that, but there is still this beacon glimmer of potential here that we're going to wind up being a 9th or 10th seed in the play-in, right? We could theoretically wind up rolling into the playoffs with a full roster, possibly.
I mean, they should, but what does it matter?
Well, I don't know.
They
Doesn't
barely
matter.
played a game together in 82 games. Now you're going to go into the playoffs not even knowing who each other are. They're basically strangers out there.
Could they have 10 games together before the end of the season?
If we had a Joe Mazzulla, or if we had a decent coach like the Atlanta Hawks coach we just talked about, we started recording, Quinn Snyder, there's 10-0 now
Hawks.
and creeping up. If we had a decent coach, and if PG, Maxey, and Embiid hasn't played together, but we had a good coach that could put some plays together, put some confidence in them, maybe.
Well, you would like to see your depleted roster play together as a team, and you would think they would, but man, there was absolutely no defensive rotation. It was way too easy for Denver last night. They should at least make them, have an effort. And there was just, Denver walked through that game last night like they didn't even,
They were sleepwalking.
They were sleepwalking,
And they were trouncing us.
I say this about the Joker all the time. He looks like he doesn't care. Well, last night he looked like he didn't even care to be there. It was for the Joker. It was a joke last night. That game was just a complete joke. It was really, really sad.
Well, you know what? We're heading into the playoffs, and the whole season leading up to recently, they were middle of the pack. They would fight their way up to the 4th or the 5th and then drop back down, but they kept staying in the middle of the pack. All of a sudden, they bottomed out.
Well,
the injuries don't help, but they're, like we said, after the Jared McCain trade, now I'm not going to put it all on that trade, but after the All-Star break, they just bottomed out.
It was. I think there's really I could say two significant instances, right, that I think really flipped the season, and it was the Jared McCain trade.
And this doesn't have to do with if he was here, we'd be winning, but there is a moral part of this that the team felt demoralized out because you see what OKC is saying about him now. They love him.
Well, we loved them too.
You said the first one was McCain. What's your second?
So there were two significant, I think, instances. Obviously the Jared McCain trade. And Paul George's suspension. Again, while we're not big Paul George fans, at that point in time, we had momentum. We did. And maybe third, Joel's injury, right? So he went out with this, is it an oblique injury?
Right now is the oblique, which he was sustained in the Miami Heat game.
It was the shin before that, and then he came back, and then it was the oblique. As a matter of fact, the last play of the game, last game he played, I think he hit a game-winning 3. He looked at. So now he's been out for I guess another 10, 12 games. It's really sad. So those it was the significant turning points. I think, obviously the Jared McCain trade, I think, and I've said this in past episodes, that demoralized the team. Paul George getting suspended, I think that demoralized the team.
The injuries don't help. Nick Nurse being lost out there doesn't help. Josh Harris ducking the luxury tax doesn't help. Nothing is helping. I don't know what else to say anymore. It's week after week of this, and we're heading into the playoffs now.
And it just kept building on itself, right? And then, Maxey goes down for 3 weeks at least. And then, KO goes out for it. It's like, how does this happen? I mean,
I can tell you one thing right here, right?
Go ahead.
So we got a bunch of church league rec players out there right now. Even when that happens, you need a floor general. You need someone who's going to take control in the league, and that's in the coach to instill in the person. No one out there is in control. No one is leading. They put old man Lowry out there. What did he do?
Did you hear the announcers last night too? They said, "Well, he's the coach on the floor that they need. He's the floor general. They needed some experience." Kyle Lowry.
They were having a lot of fun at our expense yesterday.
They were. I think they were just laughing at us. Do you know there's only 2 players in the league that have played 20 plus years active,
LeBron and
Kyle. Yeah.
KD's, I guess, approaching 19.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's really sad. So I don't know. Hey, let me ask you another question, Sanoj. You ready for this one?
Let's hear it.
What do you think about the potential expansion?
I think it was Seattle and Vegas.
Seattle and Vegas, yeah. Seattle Supersonics could come back.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows me growing up back in the 90s, the Sixers were terrible. They're a terrible team. I love them. They're always my team. But my second team, who I fell in love with, was the Sonics. Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. That was my squad. My room had the Sixer stuff. Had Sean Kemp posters, Gary Payton, all that stuff. So I would love to see a team back in Seattle. Not that I would be a Seattle fan or whatever it is, but yes, they have been missing that team for, 15 years now?
I think they're talking 28, 29. Is that the season?
They're going to place a vote to see if it should move forward.
Interesting. They're going to vote. So, do you think again, there's a lot of talk around the league. Is there enough talent with going to 32 teams now? Is there enough talent? Is that going to dilute the talent so much that it's going to dilute the league?
They'll find the ways to get the talent. I'm not worried about that. But the first thing that popped in my head now is that when you tell me that there's going to be an expansion team in Vegas, I think when the Sixers play in Las Vegas, I think you and I are going on a road trip.
We're going to gamble on that game. Yeah. Well, we can protect. I think you can protect 8 players, right?
You can go to the game. I won't be at the game. I'll be elsewhere in Vegas.
So we can. There you go. Vegas.
The producer's coming too.
We can go to the Sphere.
You're paying for all the rooms, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I guess
I did hear the dilution thing. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think there's enough talent out there to field 2 more teams. It's interesting the way the draft works. I guess a team you can protect 8 players, right? And at that point in time, so Embiid will be at the end of his contract. So
I think we're safe. No one's going to go after him.
You're going to protect Embiid.
You saw the stat that he's probably missed more games than he's played in his career now.
He has now
surpassed that. He's owed $69 million in 3 years.
It's kind of nice to have a job you have to come to 50% of the time and get paid $69 million.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to ask you this question, right?
Go, fire away.
This is, I think, a lot of professional players, especially like Embiid, the really top ones, who go through a lot of turmoil. When you're in the public eye, they just beat you down. It takes a lot of mental strength to hold up in that. And a lot of these players get depressed. Mental health is an issue. Some of them has come out and it's more prevalent now. They're talking about it more. And half the people say, "Oh my God, go cry in your bed of millions. Who cares? You're playing basketball." The other half of it is like a mountain of weight on your shoulders to hold all of this up, and it is a thing. Are you in the camp of go cry in your millions, or are you sympathetic saying it is a lot to bear, it is a lot to shoulder? And, but let's remember, they'll retire at 40 with millions in the bank.
Well, so we kind of touched on this a few episodes ago, and yeah, I'm kind of in the camp that I kind of understand the pressure, right?
I'm with you.
You can be completely financially secure. And remember, these guys have a short shelf life, right? I mean, they have 7, 8, 9 years to kind of earn what they need to live on the rest of their life.
A lot of them invest smartly now.
Unless they're smart investors, which Joel is, kind of learned from LeBron. And he's invested well. Shaq is a big part of kind of helping players, invest. Charles Barkley is, these guys have all.
Charles is killing it business-wise.
They've all learned.
Magic Johnson was probably the first one to really expand in that space. But anyway.
They've all learned to kind of invest their money because, AI is the antithesis of that.
Okay, so then I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Why should we feel bad?
Well, I
Not feel bad, but understanding the pressure. There's two different things.
I think, yeah, it is two different things. I don't feel bad for these guys because they're financially stable. Remember, a lot of you think about it, these kids. They come out of college. They're one and done, and they, a lot of these guys come from tough backgrounds, not from wealthy backgrounds, and then instantaneously they're multimillionaires,
Right.
and that takes a lot of maturity to kind of
The
handle
rookie
that.
symposium is not doing enough for a lot of these guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the players now are much smarter with their money than they used to be.
There is. I think there's a lot more resources for them to kind of manage that. But I would say that it's still tough. It's not being financially stable, but when you're in a job and you have a lot of responsibilities, which these guys do, it's not just responsibilities of winning and playing games. It's you're now a role model at times for a lot of
Yep.
people. Kids look up
Charles
to you.
Barkley famously tried to say, "I'm not a role model."
Yeah, but you are.
You are.
You are.
You are.
And,
The kids
unfortunately-
are watching. The kids love
So yeah,
you.
no, I think there is a lot of pressure, and I think no matter you can have all the money in the world, there's still pressure. How many multi-gazillionaires do you see commit suicide because
Yep.
the other thing too is when you have that kind of wealth, you tend to live up to it, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you-
this goes out past even athletes, movie stars, anyone.
Yeah.
The mental health is a real thing now.
Yeah, you live up to that, right? So you establish a certain lifestyle, a certain a perspective that people have of you, and if you wind up losing that pressure
You make a good point.
is enormous. So yeah, no, I think it's real. I don't.
We expect perfection,
Yeah.
but they're just human.
Yeah, they are, and they're kids.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of maturity. These guys are not seasoned businessmen who've been around for 35, 40 years in an industry. These are kids who have just entered a business, and it's a cutthroat business. It's
Yep.
tough because you can step wrong, tear an ACL, and your career's done. Right?
You know what? In this moment, let's give Embiid his props. In the 10+ years he's been with the Sixers, he never really stepped on a major landmine. Other than his injuries and little stuff off the court, he's never
you
got
mean
into any big trouble.
scandal-wise?
Scandal-wise.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that affects it's the mental. Do you remember do you remember this when Jahlil Okafor was drafted by the Sixers? Sixers were a terrible team. This is when they're in the beginning of the process years. He went out there and got into multiple street fights. He was bringing himself. The team wasn't utilizing him right. I guess he was a '90s player. He just wasn't this new age player. And he had a really tough time. And before you know it, the Sixers stopped playing him. Eventually, he got traded. No teams could use him. He went to a dark place. This is a guy that made millions. And guess what? I feel for him.
Yeah.
What he went through. So in those respects, you do have to understand they're human too.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Well, let's look at Allen Iverson. There's an Allen Iverson special which kind of documents his life and what he's been through and some of the tragedies that he's been around, and he's had a lot of influences around him, good and bad. But who do you think was the most significant? Who do you think who saved? And he'll say this: who saved Allen Iverson's life?
Was it Pat Croce?
No.
Larry Brown?
Well,
Was it his
Larry-
uncle?
No, it was his college coach. It was
George Thompson.
It was George Thompson. It was
Yeah.
John Thompson.
John Thompson.
John
It was,
Thompson, yeah.
but it was his mom that reached out to Coach Thompson.
Yeah.
To get him to take him at Georgetown.
Yeah. So that was a big turning point. And he experienced. I can't remember all the details. I didn't prepare for this. I don't remember.
I
all
know the whole
details.
story, but we're not going to get into it.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was just a tough time in Virginia in those days.
It was, but anyway, so a lot to contemplate here over the next few weeks as the season winds to an end.
I'm worried, John. I'm worried that the Sixers are going to fight their way into the play-in, possibly get in, possibly not get out. Then what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. We're going to eat our words. Well, we'll see. It's interesting. So we are now in ninth place, right? We are 37-32,
We're 4-6 in our last 10.
4-6.
I mean, that aligns with the injuries that we're seeing.
The whole Eastern Conference, other than Atlanta, and you got the Heat, and you got the Heat in Orlando, who are 7-3 in their last 10. Although they each lost 2 in a row now. But the whole Eastern Conference right now is kind of in flux, right? Well, other than Atlanta, who's on a 10-game winning streak. Do you think that 10-game winning streak continues? Are they going to make it into the top 6?
That's going to be really tough with a few weeks left. Definitely. It's possible. They're a strong team right now. They got that good coach in Quinn Snyder. They can definitely creep their way in.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, anyway, Sanoj, got anything else for me?
I don't have anything else for you. I just want us to get into the plane and take it from there and see what happens.
It'll be interesting. I'd love to see us.
Oh, that means if we're back recording in 1 week, it'll be the night PG returns to the Bulls.
Yeah, PG comes back.
So we'll see.
We shall see. Well, we'll see. We're going to hope for the best. We're going to expect the worst. Like
Yeah, that's what we do.
This is a team that is that really doesn't fail to disappoint us on many, many, many occasions. Since
We're lifelong Philadelphia fans. We're used to this.
it was 1983. Jeez, I remember that well. But,
Yep.
But anyway. All right, so Sanoj, I guess that'll do it for us this week.
All right, let's call it a day.
Like I always say at the end of these things, please like and subscribe, because if you don't, my buddy here, he gets depressed. I don't want to put him on medication like Paul.
I'll reiterate.
What's that?
I don't care.
He does care.
I don't care.
He does care. We need subscribers.
I think you're projecting. But anyway, what I will say,
What's that?
since we talked about players and the mental health issues and the money and all that stuff, you know what? Treat your neighbor correctly. You shouldn't judge a person, and you should walk a mile in someone's shoes before you judge them. That way you'll be a mile away and you got their shoes.
It's very profound. I wish I had something as profound as that to say. But anyway, for Ring the Damn Bell, I'm John.
I'm Sanoj.
And we are out.
Out.
Well, welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. I'm John.
I'm Sanoj.
And this is KC.
Casey Masterpiece. Oh, almost. This is Cutie Pie.
He's my dog. Yeah.